To finish the top of our pocket, we're going to need a length of bias tape. I will be providing this for you. It comes in red, black, and white is what I have available. What we're going to do is you're going to flip your pocket to the back side. Cut your length of bias. It should be about 6 3/4 inches. We're going to open this up and just kind of visually center it on the pocket. You want some of the bias hanging off the edge on each side. We want to pin the bias matching the cut edge of the bias with the top of the pocket. Fold it open like this. So pin this all the way across. Just like this. Okay, so if we flip this over, we can see that the bias is hanging off the edge a little bit on each side. We also don't want the cut edge of the bias to be visible on either side of this channel we're going to create for our tie. So you're going to fold that bias toward the back and pin it in place. I am doing this from the front side of the pocket now so that I know when I have it folded, it matches up with this edge of the pocket. Fold this side as well. Just move that pin over like that. Now when we go to sew this, we're gonna do a technique called stitching in the ditch. So see how there is a crease right here from where the bias was folded? We want to stitch right on that line. So let's get to our sewing machine. So we're gonna line up our presser foot right with that folded edge, and we wanna stitch right on top of it. If you have trouble staying right on top of that line, the better choice is to go a little bit into the seam allowance side of that line. You don't wanna go over towards the bulk of the bias. And we are stitching over this folded edge right here on both sides. Okay, just like this. Oh, didn't quite get them. Okay. Take my pins out. And now we're going to take this to the iron and we're going to press the bias this direction, keeping this fold in place, and then over the top. So let's go over to the ironing board. So I've got the back side here. We're going to press the bias up this direction. Whoops. Getting caught on my camera rig. Okay, I want to, before I fold this over, these edges are kind of flaring out right here. I want to fold those in a little better so that they form a clean edge on the end here. And then I will press it. Do the same thing over here. It can be helpful at this stage as well to have your pins at the table so you can pin as you press. Okay, let me grab my pins. Now with this pressed over, we're going to pin just like this through all of the layers. Take this to the machine. Now we're going to do something called top stitching, which means we're going to stitch on top of all of this bias. And you want to stitch as close to this folded edge as you can manage, because we need this to be nice and open for the tie to thread through the opening that we're leaving here. Starting right at the edge, just take that pin out because that's causing extra bulk. Okay, so it's really thick right there. I'm a little too close to the edge. So as I stitch, I'm gonna have to pull the pocket a little bit to help it along, because right there on the edge is a lot of layers of fabric working together. Remove the pins as you go. Cut our threads. And now the top edge of our pocket is finished. We don't have any raw fraying edges there, but now we need to attach our tie. Now that our pocket is mostly done, we need to figure out how long our tie needs to be to go around your waist and tie onto your body. So what you're gonna do, this is our pocket against my body. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your measuring tape and you're gonna wrap it around wherever you're most comfortable tying it on your waist. I tend to tie it at my high waist, my natural waist, which is a lot higher than my hips because it wants to go up there anyway. So you're gonna take your measuring tape, and you're not really measuring your waist, you're actually using the tape as a tie. So you're gonna tie the tape on your body and figure out, is there enough of a tail here that it is long enough for me to tie? If it is, great. That's your measurement, the length of your measuring tape, which is 60 and some inches. I actually like to have a slightly longer tie on mine. So I'm going to do my waist tie, the length of my measuring tape, plus about 18 inches. No, I'm gonna do 12 inches because that's how much I like a longer tail on my bow tie. But if you wanna do it a little lower, you can totally do it lower. You wanna figure out roughly, if you were to tie a bow in this, how much length you need. It doesn't have to be an exact number, but you just wanna figure out for yourself, how long do you need this to be? So, my recommendation is at least, if you actually want to measure your body, you can measure your body. I would add at least 20 inches beyond whatever part of your body you're measuring so that you have enough length to tie a bow or tie a knot or however you want to attach it to your body. And that's how you figure out how long your bias tape needs to be for your tie. Now we need to get our twill tape waist tie through the channel we've created here. There are two ways to do this. One is you can use a safety pin. This is a go-to method for a lot of different putting elastic through, putting ties through a channel. So I am actually folding my twill tape in half just so that I've got a little bit more structure with the safety pin going through it. And then all you're gonna do is put the safety pin into your channel right here and push it along. Because I can feel the safety pin, I can push it through this top channel, just like this. Inch it along. Push some of the fabric over the safety pin, pull it off the other end. Just like that. And our tie is all the way through. So that's one way to get our tie in. Another method, as you can see, this edge kind of poked out a little bit, so you'd want to tuck that back in. Another method, I will have this tool available on the in class. It effectively does the same thing. You're going to slide it through the channel. On the end here is a little hook. I'm going to put the end of my twill tape into that hook. There's a latch right here. I'm going to push up. That helps hold it in place. And I'm just going to pull it right through and remove it from the hook. And now our tie is on. The last step you want to do is these twill tape edges can fray a little bit. I do recommend that we cut them at an angle like this one to help prevent fraying. But just to give it an added bonus and also make it harder to come through the channel at the top of your pocket, tie a little knot in the end, just like you would like your sweatshirt, hoodie ties. Okay, and just like that, we are done and your pocket is ready to wear.